What's up, He-Man fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast of the Multiverse Musings Podcast Network. Here with a look at the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse figure of Scareglow. So I recently found this figure in the wild on a toy hunt. If you'd like to see that toy hunt, check out my TikTok. That is the Emerald Enthusiast. Not only did I find this figure, I found another figure that I wanted from the Masterverse line. I'm a huge fan of the packaging for this line. I think it's just beautiful. It's really made with collectors in mind, so I'm very thankful for that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details of that packaging now. On the bottom front, it says Masters of the Universe Revelation Scareglow. We get the stylized font here on the side. It says Scareglow, Evil Ghost of Skeletor. On the top, it says Masterverse. We're treated to some exquisite artwork here on the side. On the back, you get headshots of the other figures available in this wave. On the top back, we get some more outstanding artwork of Skeletor, as well as a brief bio. It says, "Fear his glow. The skeletal specter rules the underworld of Subternia, trapping lost souls inside of their deepest, darkest nightmares. But it has been too long since Scareglow has tasted true fear. If the daring adventurers wish to pass through his domain, they must pay the price. Fear for Scareglow to feast upon, or be trapped in Subternia forever." As for the figure itself, you can see it framed well within the packaging here. The only parts that are obscured by the packaging slightly are the feet. You can see the accessories here. They don't block any part of the figure. I certainly appreciate that. For mint-on card collectors, you want your purchases to look good in the packaging, and you want your eye to be immediately drawn to the figure itself. And I think this packaging accomplishes that. I may yet get a second figure to keep mint in box. However, as far as this figure goes, I think it's time to bust it out of the package and see what's inside. Here we see the inner tray with the rock wall art. And here's the figure free of the outer carding, but still in the inner plastic. And here we see Scareglow out of the package and ready to feast on fear. This figure is amazing. This is a piece of plastic art. So I'm going to waste no further time. Let's dive right into the details now. Let's have a look at the lower body here. We have a nice sturdy figure. Of course, I appreciate that. I like the paint choice on the boots. I like how metallic that is. You get this hinge here. So there's movement downward like that. There is some pivoting on the ankle, so that'll help you get the figure into a good pose. I really appreciate the fact that the boots here, you have a swivel right here, and look how good that looks. I mean, that it's not just a perfunctory effort with paint, and you see, the bone paint application there behind it. So I certainly appreciate that. What it looks like from behind. So that's really cool. As far as the legs go, this piece that I'll talk more about in a minute, it looks like it's going to hinder the articulation. It actually doesn't that much because you have this cut here, and so you can get him to kick out like that, and that's certainly appreciated. And also, this is pliable enough to give you a front kicking range of motion too. So I certainly appreciate that. There's a look at the paint application there. Of course, you get that upper thigh swivel there. So that's really cool. There's the back of the figure. Now, it doesn't go back very far, but I think that's less having to do with this piece as it just is the design of the hip area. Speaking of the hips and lower torso, I certainly like all the sculpting that has gone on here with this part. You see all those wrinkles sculpted in and how it looks like it's laid over this other piece. I like that brilliant metallic paint on the belt. That looks really cool. What it looks like from behind. Same thing with this leg. You have this cut here that allows you to get the leg out if you want to do a side kicking motion. You also have swiveling here at the lower torso. I think it's hindered slightly, ever so slightly by the belt, like this front piece here, but still not very much at all. So you can certainly use that to your advantage as you pose the figure. Looking at the rest of the torso, in the package, the figure is like this, and I was really impressed when I got the figure out and I rocked it back like this. This upper torso swivel here, this joint looks even better when you have it done like this, because all of the paint lines up, and I certainly appreciate that. Good molding on the figure. You know, you see the abdominals there. That looks really good. You do have some, again, this rocking motion, so if you're getting the figure into a particular pose for like a diorama, again, you have some options there. Certainly appreciate that. So let's have a look at the cape here. And this part is plastic, the part that goes around the head sculpt. It's very well molded. Lots of good texturing here. I like the coloring. It feels like if you went ahead and popped the head sculpt off, you could get this off because it moves around it very well. So I'm guessing you can get this off. I'm not going to do that for this review. The rest of the cape, it's cloth. Now, it's not the best looking material, and I feel like, I like the tattering, but I feel like with a different material, this could have looked a little bit better, and they could have done some more things in this area to make it look even like a rougher cape like we saw in the animated series. But overall, I have to appreciate this cape. So let's have a look at the head sculpt, and I really like this. Really cool. I like the wash that's been given over it to like make the teeth stand out. And the forehead there. Good detail on this. You get it to move up and down. The cape hinders it slightly, but very slightly. Again, if you kind of angle it up, you can turn it easier. But again, you're going to run into the cape. But yeah, that's really good articulation. I certainly appreciate that. I like the way the eyes have been done. Lots of attention to detail there. By the way, this does glow, so at the end of the video, stay tuned and I'll give you a shot of that feature. Let's have a look at accessories here. Now, these two hands were the ones that came on the figure, and I wanted to put the weapon in this hand originally, but this one's really stiff, and I really couldn't do it. Now, you may be able to heat it up with a hair dryer or some boiling water and not have any problems, but I didn't want to break any of the fingers, so I went ahead and put it in this hand, and I think that looks fine. I do like this weapon. Like all these like sharp edges here. Looks really cool. With the alternate hands, you get a fist. Again, good paint applications. And you get this open hand here. I like that. And there is that peg. And you get that hinge on each one of these. So I certainly appreciate this alternate set of hands. So you just take the hands, port them into the wrists. These are the two that I have chosen, and this is how I'm going to have the figure displayed on my shelves. So let's take a look at the arms, and I like the musculature. The molding is really good. You get this swivel at the bicep. You get this hinge at the elbow, so it's good articulation. Of course, you can move the wrist. Not only do you have that hinge, but it can go all the way around in the port, so that looks good. This is the range of motion for the shoulder. It is hindered slightly by the cape, but I think if you move the cape around a little bit, you can get it to go as high as you want to. On mine here, this one's a little tight, so I'm not going to force that one. But yeah, there are lots of posing options with the bicep swivel and the articulation that is present. And let's go ahead and have a look at the paint application over here. And yeah, that looks really good, the way the bones are done. This couldn't have been an easy figure to do, but they certainly pulled it off. So I am definitely appreciative of that. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. Remember to stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Multiverse Musings vidcast, available right here on YouTube, where we have a number of podcasts, including I Have the Power, a He-Man podcast. and I'll be back to the internet with more Masters of the Universe related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.